was doing that little girly girl thing before early in the year, right?
I was.
Okay, okay. Tell us what's going on in the real estate world, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it depends on what side of the transaction that you're on. Actually, all around, it's good for everyone. It's an investor's playground because they're able to double their profits these days. It's really great for the buyers because they have low rates, they have more purchasing power right now, and it's great for the sellers because they're able to cash in on all of their equity that they have. So it really just depends on where you are, but overall, you're going to have a fun time in this market regardless.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You gonna have a fun time in this market, tell us. Sounds like a cash cow right now going on in the real estate
Oh, it
business.
most definitely is.
Most definitely, most definitely. What is it like selling real estate in Atlanta? You know, Georgia. You know, the premier city. What's it like?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, the values are going sky high. So those people that really invested in the city are really, really in a great spot. I mean, Atlanta is such a culture hub these days. There's so many things that are developing, especially inside, but also outside of Atlanta. So it's really awesome experience because as I'm going around showing my clients, I'm able to learn more about the city that I didn't know. I think literally every single day I learned something new about the city that I didn't know, and I thought that I was the expert.
So you telling me Atlanta is still actually growing even after the major, market that just happened in the last 10 years? You're telling me people are still moving to Atlanta. Atlanta's a hot hub for home development.
Oh, absolutely. Any type of development, whether you're on the commercial side of real estate or whether you're on the residential side, I mean, the opportunities are endless when it comes to Atlanta because you have to think about it. So many major companies are moving here. This is the entrepreneur, the Southern entrepreneur like hub for those people. So all in all, when it comes to Atlanta, it's thriving because of the people that's in it and the culture that has been established over this period of time.
I was thinking the market was burning out in Atlanta because everybody was moving here. Um, I mean, it just seems so overcrowded. Like, what the hell is gonna happen? Is Atlanta gonna bust through a bubble? I don't know. I mean, you can't even. It used to be a time where you drive downtown 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, traffic. So we stay home. 4 o'clock, traffic. We kind of got somewhere to stay still.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But now it's more so like all day traffic. Tell us why the traffic
Yeah.
is picking up.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of migrations that are happening here. And then I also have to remind people you have 75, 85, that's like the pathway to everywhere. I always say that because you got to think about it. 75 goes all the way down to Miami.
Yes,
So
yes.
you have, and anytime you're in traffic, I dare people to do this. Look at the tags. All you're going to see are Alabama tags, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida tags when you're on the highway. So you have a lot of migration that's coming into the city. You have a lot of people that are moving here from California, New York, Miami, all of your major cities. And you have to think about it like this. Once COVID started, everyone that was living in their homes, a lot of people didn't have time to think about their house and what they liked about it and what they didn't like about it. Once COVID hit, everyone was sitting in their house and they were like, you know what? I don't really like this wall. Or I don't have somewhere that I can conduct my business in my house. And so, one, that caused everyone to get on the market, especially with those low rates.
Okay.
And if you were willing, able, and ready to purchase, you got into your new dream home. Those people that were migrating down from California, New York, and migrating up from Miami, they had an enormous amount of extra funds to be able to invest in properties. So that's where you really saw like a lot of people, or in general, there was a lot of money circulating, period, at the time, no matter where those source funds came from. So that's where you see like a lot of people overbidding on their homes. But now the appraisals are catching up with that, which are raising the values of the home. And so that's why you're seeing like these homes that were in $350,000 neighborhoods. They got like $50,000 over asking, and it turned into a $400,000 neighborhood. Those values are sticking because the appraisals are catching up with what happened almost a year and a half ago, from when we first started. So most definitely, people are moving here. It's Black Hollywood. In Atlanta, all of your major studios are here. Again, all of your major companies are here. So it just makes sense for those major people that are in charge of these corporations and these executives and the employees of those companies to just move where the action is. And that's just how migration naturally happens. Who knows where the next hot city is going to be? They say it's North Carolina. So we'll see in a couple of years where the migration goes from there.
How did you get in the real estate business?
So I got into real estate because I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children, and corporate America just did not work for me anymore. Clocking in, clocking out at a specific time, having to sacrifice different times to have to work for someone else, just really didn't fit into how I saw my life, what my family values, and what my personal values were, and where I saw in my life. So I got into real estate because it really allowed me to become the business owner I knew that I always was. And it allowed me to like really invest the time that I wanted to give to my family to be able to do that and bring value to the table. So
that's how you got in.
That's how I got in. I kind of just literally, I was just like, I have to find something that allows me to really put my family in the center, and everything works out from there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I got into it. I was like, oh, real estate.
Beam. There you go.
There you go.
You was working, man. You was a real major league hustler for the real estate business. Like you had your hands in a lot of, here and there, getting that money, getting that bag. Yeah. You know, like you say, a mother of 3, you got to get it. You know what I'm saying? Every day on your feet, just going grinding. Much respect to all the mothers out there doing their thing. Big shout out. What were you doing before real estate?
Yeah, so for the previous 5-6 years, I had over the time a cleaning company, a bartending business. In addition to my cleaning company, I started a trash pickup service as well. So with all of that being said, I started a nonprofit organization. All of those things I was doing while I was still working in corporate America.
Oh, wow. So you was hustling 3 different hustles, working a corporate America job, juggling 3 kids.
Yep.
Life.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
You did all this by yourself?
Man, I had to make it do what it did. I had to make it do what it did because I had no other choice because I knew what type of life I wanted to be able to provide for my kids.
Awesome.
And it just was not an option for me to not do what I needed to do to make that established.
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. So tell us about the bartender business.
Okay.
How did that come about? What? Because, I mean, I can see you behind the bar, but you actually put this business together, took it mobile. Tell us how that started, what made that come about?
Yeah, so by trade, I'm a bartender. Literally, I was about 16 years old, and I was working at this restaurant, and that was before a lot of the laws had changed. And the bartender, after working there for about 2 months myself, the main bartender left, like just stormed out one day. And the owner was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I was like, look, well, I mean, how hard could it be? Like, wow. Put me behind the bar. I don't mind doing that. I was like, I didn't want to, walk around the restaurant anyway. So put me behind the bar. I'll be stationary.
Yeah.
I had been watching them for a long time. I learned as I went. And it became a love of mine. When I went to college, I couldn't get away from it. Like, if I went to go party somewhere, I'd like be watching the bar. I'd get cool with the owner, and then eventually bartender would come up and they were like, you need to come work for me.
Oh, wow.
So I bartended throughout college. And then after college, I kind of did it as like a little, like just to make some little side money, but I couldn't necessarily get away from it. And just so happened along the way, people started having Super Bowl parties at their houses, and like, man, I would really like to be able to bring the bar to my house. And I was like, cool. Tabletop services. We bring the bar where you are. That was our motto. And so that's how my bartending business came about, because I was just like, look, I see a need in the community. Boom. Let's start it up. Let's see how it goes. And when I started my bartending company, then I saw that a lot of other people like really started like taking mobile bartending seriously.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you 16 bartending, go all the way to you're an adult. You take it in your adulthood. You work at the bar. You do parties. You start. What college did you go to?
I went to the Fort Valley State University. Yeah, you have to put the "the" in front of it because we're important.
Shout out to the Fort Valley State University. Pat, what you think about Fort Valley State University, man?
Yo, all the love, my bro.
Big shout out
The
to
#1 HBCU.
man.
Period.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I can't tell you what I think about Fort Valley because we on camera.
Yeah, man, we just having fun here, though, man. So, whatever you say, hey, it just
Probably
stays.
went to Albany or something.
I don't know where Pat went to, man.
Okay.
I went to CAU, though.
Okay.
I went to CAU.
Well, that's okay.
Okay. It's okay.
It's alright.
It's alright.
Like I said, we can't
It got me doing what I'm doing today, though. You know what I'm saying? So,
I respect that.
I'm cool with it, but I mean, it's cool. When I look around, I would have went to a couple of other colleges, but I mean, CAU, find a way to make one.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Everybody can't be a wildcat.
Tell us about the cleaning business. How does the liquor business, the mobile bartending, play into your cleaning business? This is when you're just starting out. You haven't touched real estate. You're developing Blue.
Yep. Okay, so speaking of developing Blue, that was a really great point. So I was in a really awkward place in my life when I started my cleaning business. I had just broken up with my, at that time, fiance. And when I got mad, I cleaned. So my house, almost at like all times throughout that time in my life, smelled like Fabuloso, bleach, and Pine-Sol at all times. That's on period. And then like one day I was cleaning my tub and I was like, you know what? I could like do this. Like I could do this. Like I really like cleaning. I would turn on my music and maybe like an hour or two, my entire house would be spotless. And I was like, cool. Well, let me see where this goes. So I started up my cleaning business. It went so well. I ended up learning about how to get government grants to fund my business and to gain more business. I started hiring people. I mean, from there, it really was just history. I kind of just like took that off. And then it got to a point where I was like, it grown so large. I was like, whoa, I can't handle this anymore.
Okay.
And I had found someone to purchase my business, and they purchased it.
And they took off with it.
And they took over all of my contracts. They acquired everything, and they're still doing well. So
Wow.
through my cleaning business, I learned acquisition. I've learned sale. I've learned transfer. Everything that I needed to do, I learned that through my cleaning business.
So let me ask you this, why aren't you, cleaning businesses seem to be profitable businesses, because I paid somebody to clean my house and they charged me like $200 just to clean the house, you know what I'm saying, which was probably fairly cheap because it came through one of my homeboys. This girl was starting her cleaning business, doing her thing, but I was just talking to a young lady who has a cleaning business out on St. Simon Island, Slightly OCD. And Slightly OCD was talking about contracting and bringing on employees. What made you not want to just stay you doing it and not adding employees on it?
Well, I did add employees on. So here's the thing with this type of industry, and it happens in all other industries, but you really have to watch this. It has a very high turnover rate.
Okay.
The reason why it has a high turnover rate because unless someone is like really passionate about cleaning and it's something that they really like, a lot of people get into this industry just kind of make some fast cash.
Gotcha.
And they may or may not complete the job how the company expectations want them to. Not saying that everyone does a bad job, but it does have an extremely high turnover rate. And you know, you just have to search to find those right ones that are right for your company and that would just on board to how you run your company. But first and foremost, you have to know how you're going to run your company and what your expectations are. So to kind of like decrease that turnover rate as high as it might be, if you have systems in place and you have things in place to not only protect you as an employer, but protect your employees and let them know that you care, and they in return reciprocate the care for your company, everything usually goes pretty well.
Pretty much. You originally from Atlanta, ATL.
I am from
Outcast, Grady baby.
Yep.
South ATL.
Yep, Grady baby all day, every day.
What was it like growing up in Atlanta?
Man, well, for me, I was a sheltered child, so I didn't necessarily get to explore Atlanta until I was like in my late teens, and I started being rebellious. so I was that person that, look, I'm catching the MARTA downtown to the underground. I ain't going home after school.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was pretty awesome, and it's awesome kind of just naturally being from here and seeing the city grow. Okay. It's a really beautiful thing. I was just riding downtown, and downtown is building up. It's building back up to what it used to be. I remember going to the teen club in the underground. The underground was just the hottest spot. We go there and get our spray painted, our airbrush T-shirts every weekend. Go get our little glamour shots in the underground too, where they give you like 100 for $5.
Wow.
And you just don't pass them out in high school. But yeah, like it's just a beautiful thing just seeing Atlanta develop back, seeing the growth, seeing the new developments come in, and seeing people from other places coming and investing in the city. It's awesome.
Oh man, that's what's up. So growing up in Atlanta, you say you were sheltered, so Club 559.
I went there.
You went there? Club
Prime, Club Miami. What was that? The Velvet Room.
Okay.
The Velvet Room,
Okay.
I was there.
ATL.
Look, hey, when I got out on the scene, I went hard for a couple of years.
That's what's up.
Everywhere.
That's what's up. So, alright, so you go cleaning business, bartending to the cleaning business. What happened after that?
Yep, cleaning business. After I sold that off, I was like, look, I was working for my job, and this is a really funny story. I was working for my job, and literally I was as high as you can go on the executive chain in the retail stores.
Oh, wow.
And I walked into the store one day, and I looked around, and I was like, why am I here? Like, I just started questioning myself. Yeah. It was just so odd. It wasn't me at all. People were like, what's wrong with you? And one of my assistant managers came up to me and asked me, they were like, hey, what should we do for this? Because I didn't give a huddle. I gave no instruction. I just came to work that day. And I was like, what? I was just looking around. They were like, yeah, what should we do? What's the huddle for today? And when the words came out of my mouth, it just resonated with me. I was like, I got to find something else. I was like, look, we got to just open the doors at 10 o'clock, and we have to just make sure that they close at 8. And when I said that out of my mouth, I was like, oh my God, because everything that I do it at 150%. I don't give slack or anything like that. Like, if I'm going in and I'm doing it. And once I hit that point where I was like, I don't care, I was like, this can't be for me. And 2 weeks later, I resigned.
You resigned?
2 weeks later, I resigned, went to real estate school, got my real estate license, and hit the road in real estate.
Real estate seems to be like an oversaturated market in Atlanta. Everybody's a real estate agent. Everybody's a cut hair. Everybody. What else, Pat? Do everybody do? Photography, videography in Atlanta. What else?
Photography.
Everybody's a photographer.
Yeah.
Everybody's a videographer. Everybody sell real estate. You know, or at least say they sell real estate until you look at the numbers. You know what I'm saying? You be like, okay, you sold 2 houses in a year. You ain't really a realtor. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, a win is a win. But
a win is a win.
To your point, yeah, everybody can do real estate, but who all is really doing real estate? Like, are you really doing real estate? Like, how much time does real estate take up in your day?
Wow.
And that's how I measure it, because for those people where you put into your, and it's like any other business, like if you just put 2 to 4 hours a week into your business, you're going to get 2 to 4 hour results. If you put 8 to 10 hours in your business a day, that's what you're going to see. And you're like, it's just a difference between your top producers and, you know, your just regular producers. A lot of people are just happy selling 2 and 3 houses a year. I'm not happy selling 2 and 3 houses a year. I want to serve the entire city of Atlanta. Like, I go in 150%, but that all accounts to, like, yeah, they do real estate, but are they really doing real estate? It's so much that goes into real estate. It's not just as simple as saying, hey, you want to purchase a house? Okay, well, cool. Well, come on, let's get pre-qualified. Oh, we're going to pick your house out. And then you have to know your contracts. You have to know how to negotiate. I work a lot with sellers. Okay. So on my end, I have to know my contracts, because I have to be able to explain to my seller what's going on. How is their money affected?
Gotcha.
What does this verbiage mean? When I'm working with my buyers have to understand what's going in this contract, because their money is on their biggest asset that they will ever purchase in their entire lives is in my hand. You have to think about it. If you own a home, that's usually your biggest asset that you have, period. Outside of any stocks, bonds, anything that you have, your home is your biggest asset and your biggest debt that you have in your house. And on my watch, nobody is going to slide through without completely understanding what they have in front of them, what they're facing, what they're getting themselves into, and how it's going to benefit them in the long run.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, how would you say, what differentiates you from, you know, the person that says, hey, I sell real estate, versus being a real estate agent? What differentiates you?
Yeah, so what I bring to the table is, you know how the biggest concern of a seller or a buyer is, how am I going to be able to increase my wealth or my wealth preservation? Or how is this going to benefit me in the long run? What I bring to the table is, I am able to educate through technology what they're going to be facing. So I pride myself on educating through every single step of the way. My people, and we establish relationships throughout my transaction. I have not served a client that is not a family member.
Oh, wow.
That has not turned into a family member. All of my clients, I can call them right now and say, hey, I'm coming over for dinner.
But you're real cool, though. You're real cool. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I mean, that's my biggest thing. Developing a relationship. Let's get you to where you want to go and accomplish your goal. But while we're doing that, you're going to be educated. Okay. And a lot of my buyers and sellers, I teach them how to flip that money. Like, because there's so many different opportunities in real estate. I mean, you have arbitrage, you have investment properties, you have in those investment properties, you have buy and hold, you have fix and flips. It's just so much that you can do. You have commercial real estate that you can invest in. Gotcha. I have a client right now. I sold them a commercial building, and we bought it for a really great price. It was like a couple $100,000. It's now worth over $1 million.
Oh, wow.
So people don't even think about that, but that's what I bring to the table. Education in real estate. Okay. How can we flip your equity in your home that you're about to take out or that you're about to get to invest into something else that can double and triple your money? So a lot of people may not be as educated in that sphere as I am. So
that's what you bring to the table.
That's what I bring to the table.
Now you're doing a new thing going into this season. You kind of changed the game up on us a little bit. You got you're now, I believe you are like a manager of a broker now or something like that. A broker firm, like you're the manager over that. You're doing something bigger than what you did.
Oh,
Tell us about
so,
what's going on with that.
yeah. So recently, I was accepted into our sports and entertainment division at my brokerage,
Okay.
where we specifically focus on luxury homes for those entertainment and sports professionals within the Atlanta or Georgia area. Period.
Okay.
So that was really it was a really great opportunity. That I was able to get into that because they are tough when it comes to that division, and you really have to know your stuff because of course you're dealing with very large scale transactions. So it was an honor to be able to be accepted.
So you're dealing with like the sports division, entertainment division. That's a big market in Atlanta.
Yeah, huge.
Some million dollar people in Atlanta, some $1 billion people in Atlanta that's rocking with some big checks. What type of approach are you taking towards when it comes to, I mean, you get the person that's, hey, I want to buy a new house, we're a family, I want to buy my family a new house. That's almost like the traditional way of real estate, or what we think of real estate agents. Mm-hmm. We don't really see too many black, female, or male real estate agents talking about sports and entertainment. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between sports and entertainment real estate versus the traditional sell a family a home?
Well, a lot of people don't get that when you're dealing with sports and entertainment, with a traditional transaction, you're working with that person. With, those other more higher net worth audience or affluent audience, you're working with them to an extent, but they have people that work for them.
Okay.
So you're more of a liaison.
Wow.
So it goes from having that intimate relationship. Hey, I can immediately get you on the phone to, all right, well, if I got to get this handled, I got to call this person. Or if I want this handled, I got to call this person. Or I got to call your assistant to get to you. So it's really it's a very different playing field. It's a very, very different playing field.
So you go from dealing with like the Calvin Ridleys, the Matt Ryans, the Troy Youngs, the those type names, you know what I'm saying, in the industry. And these people are looking not only to just buy, they're looking to invest. Mm-hmm. What is it like when you're looking in the Atlanta market? What is it like when you're focusing on the best interest of the client for that type of transaction?
So you're having to explain the best interest to the client to the people that hold their best interest. So like their managers, their assistants, their lawyers, their accountants, their wealth management representatives. You're having to like really come up with the entire presentation on how this is going to benefit the client and what their goals are. So it's more about what their goals are and what they plan to do long term, because usually they've already been advised of that. Okay. So it's more it's very humbling to work with those type of other individuals within the transaction, because I mean at one time you could work with 10 to 20 people at one time for a real estate transaction for the audience. So
that's deep.
And sometimes and don't get me wrong, I feel like if you can afford to be able to have these type of people in your lives, you definitely should, or at least have a retainer for them, because to make money, you have to spend money. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand the importance of that.
Right.
You have to spend money to make money. So whether it's PR or whether you're in corporate America and you need a wealth manager, or you need an accountant, or you don't think you need it and you try to figure everything out for yourself, it just helps to be able to have that person that you can kind of lean on for their expertise, because that is what they do 24/7.
Well, you find a lot of people who feel like they can just like jump up one day, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, and they really don't see the value of partnerships, teams, that type of nature, or understanding that values. Because in Atlanta, it's really like a cliquish market. Would you say?
I would say it's a very widespread market. I wouldn't say is that it's cliquish, just very widespread.
Okay.
So very widespread, and it's kind of like a big fish in a little pond.
Okay. Big fish in a little pond. So, what's the value in like working with? Because I mean, a publicist can get you out there. You could be a real estate agent, like you say. You got tens of thousands of real estate agents in the Atlanta area, but you got a publicist, you got marketing, you got what she say, Pat? Accounting? Yeah, accounting. You got all your team. What's the value in that versus? What have you seen the value in that versus like a person who works with that type of energy versus someone who's just, hey man, I'm working and I'm building my business?
So I would say at any point in your business, whether you are just starting out or you're more tenured in what you're doing, everyone needs help.
Okay.
And that's really like a non-negotiable. And it's like, why wouldn't you receive help? Like, why would you want to walk in the fire when someone can just show you how to like walk around it? It's like you got like they already know what to do. So it's kind of like, and personally, I feel like it's kind of like an ego thing. Our ego will get us every single time. And don't get me wrong, your ego is not bad. It's there to protect you, but your ego can hinder you from moving forward.
Gotcha.
And sometimes you just have to humble yourself and be open to taking that advice. Like, if you look at any of the major business people, they not only have 1, 2, or 3 mentors, they have 4, 5, and 6 mentors.
Right.
And those mentors may not all focus on one thing at one time, or that team may not focus on one thing at one time. Somebody might, concentrate on wealth. Somebody might try to concentrate on, what they're specifically working in. Another person may be concentrating on, something else. But in all aspects of their life, they have a mentor that's like pushing them in the direction that they need to go, and they can always lean on them with questions or anything like that. It's like, why wouldn't you accept the help?
Right. We see the shining lights when a realtor gets on Facebook, Instagram, they sell the house, keys, shaking, all of that,
Your little
TikTok, boomerangs, all of that. That's the fun side of the business.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you went through? What are some of the hurdles you had to go through to get to where you're at?
Yeah. Like I said, this is the biggest asset, and usually the most important asset that anyone is going to purchase in their life. I think the biggest hurdle for me was, what was my biggest hurdle? Ooh, that's a hard question.
I just one where you might have, was it getting to is it, getting yourself out there, or, what was one of your biggest hurdles in real estate? Or did you just get out there and just blow?
I think my biggest hurdle, putting in those words, or in that context, my biggest hurdle in real estate was letting go of money and investing it in myself.
Wow.
So that I could make more money. Because you think, if I just, keep it and do what I feel is right.
Right.
That you'll make more and you'll progress faster. And that is not the case at all.
Okay.
As soon as I hired a coach,
okay,
my business took off. And it went exactly where I wanted it to go.
Wow.
And from there, and don't get me wrong, you have to fit this all into your business budget.
Okay.
So whatever your goals are, you make those goals and then you add that little bit on top of it. and you work towards getting that so that you can afford everything at one time. But getting someone in my corner, well, actually a couple of people, because I have 3 mentors.
Okay.
Getting those people in my corner and investing in them to invest back in me changed my entire world.
Wow. Wow. What's next for you?
What's next? I don't know what's next because everything is new right now. Everything is new that I'm coming up on right now. So I don't know what's next, but I do know what is to come.
What's to come?
And what's to come is the accomplishment of my goals. Like I've set out a 5-year goal.
Okay.
And I'm pretty much at the halfway point in there, 2 years in. It'll be 2 years in November. So
2 years selling real estate.
2 years selling real estate.
Wow.
Yep. 2 years in, and the purpose is to get to the goal. And once I get to that goal, right before I hit that goal,
right,
I've already made the next goal.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Well, I mean, you know, seems like we covered everything. I mean, are you servicing all over Georgia, or it's just the Atlanta area? How can people reach you and find out more about you?
Yeah, so I'm on almost every single social media platform ever. So if you just search Azureblue on any social media platform, you will find me. I am on Clubhouse at I am Azureblue. I'm on Instagram at Azureblue_realtor, Facebook Azureblue White, LinkedIn Azureblue White. So literally anywhere you can contact me. You can also email me at the elite luxury group at gmail.com. You can shoot me a message on any social media platform. I'm very accessible.
Wow. Azureblue.
Azureblue.
Azureblue White. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you're looking for a realtor, contact Azureblue White. She's a realtor right here in the Atlanta area. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, absolutely. So my beautiful children, I definitely want to give a shout out to Jevion, Ava, and Autumn. They are my life. They are my why. Every single day I wake up and I work for them because they deserve a better life, the best life that I can provide for them.
That's awesome. Pat, anybody want to give a shout out to, man? We're here with Azureblue, Game Changers TV, Game Changers Media Network, Urban Photos, ATL. Give a shout out to any business you want to give one to, bro. Pat is just behind the scenes, but he talks so much off the table, so I'm surprised he's just quiet on the camera. But we're here. Game Changers TV, Game Changers Media Network, Azureblue White. We appreciate you coming out, talking with us. We had fun.
Thanks for having me.